Welcome back, everybody. Spot On Jaguars, brought to you by Teal Reign and King's Barbecue. The London Broil's over. We marched into Great Britain, had some tea and crumpets, ate some fish and chips, and came back with 2 W's. On this week's show, we're going to talk about the Bills game. We're going to preview the upcoming Indianapolis game, and we got a great giveaway for you, so stick around. If you like Jaguars football and all things Duval, hit the like and subscribe button, mash the notification bell, and let's get started. And we're back, coming off the Jaguars beatdown of the Buffalo Bills in the United Kingdom. And once again...
Whoa. Bro, put the cigar down. Cigars are for winners. You picked the Bills, bro.
Okay,
Correct?
Yeah.
You did pick...
Okay,
Yeah,
I did, but
slimy...
But wait a second. Did you just hit me from the Alec Baldwin from Glengarry Glen Ross? Cigars?
I did. I didn't think you would get that.
Well, I like it. All right.
No, but seriously, put it down. You shouldn't even... You're too giddy, bro. You picked the loser.
All right, yes, I did pick the Bills. I thought they were...
Matter of fact,
I fell for
you're no longer Captain Hook. I'm going to be taking over. Jeff and I are going to be taking over our sports gambling.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the picks in a little bit. All right, but let's get back to the
I
Jaguars.
feel like we should slam them on the table.
Maybe Bills
I'm in.
Mafia style.
I'm in.
All right, let's get back to the Bills Jaguars, the beatdown in the UK. So first off, let me get to this. I have a problem with how the national media, every time the Jaguars win a game, the national media spins it as, what did the other team do wrong? You want to know what the Buffalo Bills did wrong? They weren't as good as the Jaguars. That's what they did wrong. So, I'm tired of being the little engine that could. I'm tired of being the tough, scrappy fighter team. They're just at what point are they just a good team, a well-coached team?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I got a couple bones to pick with just some of the. Just some of the narrative that was coming out of that game. Yeah, right. Thank you. But it was like, we're a good team. And yeah, we hit a little bit of a skid. It's not like we were coming off of a loss, but we didn't start the season maybe as fast as like some people predicted that we would. But it shouldn't be a shock, and the excuses, my God, everything that was coming out. It was like, oh, well, the Bills had to travel to London. The Jags got to, be there 2 weeks in a row. True, but we've had one game in London also. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. It probably was a bit of an advantage for us, but you got to suck it up, go out there and play. And if they are, this team that is, by some accounts, the best team in football, they should go out there and
definitely up there in the power rankings.
They are. They should be. They're a really good team, but it's not. It wasn't a fluky win. We were kicking their butts from the jump.
The jump.
Right.
From the jump.
And it's not like they slowed down the Kansas City offense. We watched that. They kept the Buffalo Bills under wraps. We watched that. At what point are they just the better team? They're just a good team. And I'm sick of the narrative being, what did the other team do wrong? Right. No, the Jaguars made them play bad. That's what happened. Yeah. They're paid to play football as well. So I didn't like that.
Like I said in the last show about how, Buffalo Bill lost before they played Miami. And everybody's like, oh, what's wrong with Buffalo? What's wrong with Buffalo? Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, they blow out a Miami team, and it's like, Buffalo's now a contender. I'm going, I don't believe the hype. Right. They're not going to be able to match up with our team.
I picked Buffalo. I fell for that.
Yeah, that's true. You did.
So let's go over it. Let's start with Trevor Lawrence, obviously, as we're always going to start with Trevor. 25 for 37 for 315 and a touchdown. He did have the 2 fumbles, but ended up with a QBR of 78.5. That's the 1 out of 100, and a quarterback rating of 102.9, essentially 103. So he had a really good game against a really good defense. They did lose Tre'Davious White, but still really good defense.
They had a couple injuries, and we injured them, and that's another thing that the Bills were crying about. The Bills and their fans, look, man, take the L. You have a good team, take the L. But they were talking about the turf. We played on the same turf. Right, we played on because it was a different stadium. This was the first game that was played. It's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium,
okay.
and they won't
let. Oh, it wasn't Wembley. You're right.
Yeah, they won't let them play on grass, so they put down that turf, and it's the first time a team's ever played on that. It was like we played on the same turf, but talking about Trevor, so.
Who was running for his life?
He was under fire, and this was the type of game that I talked about before because I think he's played good all season. He had 1 interception. I think that's all he's got in the season, right? Versus Houston, he has a 1 interception, and I said he's been playing good all year. But I want to see if he's the guy that we think that he is. I want to see him, locked in and playing well despite the offensive line. You know what I mean? Like kind of that next level play. And I think that's what he was. That pass to Zay Jones was beautiful.
On the money.
And it was only Zay could have caught that.
Offensive line in a second. But speaking of Trevor, the way he gets the ball to all the different, he gets everybody involved in the game.
That's another thing.
He passes it around, spreads the ball around, so you don't even know who to key in on, who to double team,
Yeah.
who to take out of the equation. Speaking of, Calvin Ridley, 7 for 122. Christian Kirk, 6 for 78. Ingram in there for 4 catches, only 28 yards. And then Zay Jones with the touchdown, 3 for 23 in the touchdown. So meaning you don't even know who's going to get the ball on a specific play.
And the thing is, we can give a lot of credit to Trevor, which, granted, he deserves it. But let's think about this. It could be the receivers getting their timing down better because they know the offensive line is not protecting like they should, and they're getting open faster.
Well, it's overall
There's
chemistry.
no hesitation. It's like, boom, they're getting open. Because he has, when I was watching that game, there were several receivers open, and he just picked the one that was just
Well,
there.
I feel like all year
spread,
long, we talked about them needing to get that chemistry together and
to find their identity.
and that game out of Trevor is what I've been waiting for him to look elite. And the numbers aren't like earth shattering, but the way he spread the ball around, some of the way he was zipping that ball, he was throwing it confidently, and he was getting killed a couple times. I mean, there was
The offensive line played abysmal. I mean, they were
What's that?
not. The offensive line was not good.
They haven't
did
played
not
good all
play.
year.
Right.
The run offensive line's good, but the deep.
But even with that, started off the game. Remember, the game started off, and like Etienne wasn't really, getting a lot of yards per carry.
He definitely came into a rhythm.
And we were talking. And by the way, we went and watched the game at Dos Gatos, and
Shout out to Dos Gatos.
it was awesome. We had a great time.
Yes.
They were awesome to us. Joy, one of the owners, she even got on the microphone and shouted us out, said everybody go check out Spot On Jaguars. But all the people, even the people we didn't know there, everybody was really cool.
It's like one big family when you watch a game.
It
Everybody's
was
high-fiving everybody.
You could tell it's a local. They got a lot of regulars in there, but anyway, everybody was real welcoming to us, and
a couple guys shorter than I was, and I was like, I like this place.
Yeah, it's a short
I was
bar.
giving high
It's
fives
a
down
short
here.
bar.
I was like, I love it.
But anyway, moving right on. Hold on a second. So the offensive line, early on, we were watching the game, and I was like, I like the fact that they keep giving the ball to Etienne, even though his yards per carry weren't crazy. And then you could see it. The Bills got worn down as the game went on, and then Etienne was able to bust some.
Okay, now speaking of the offensive line, it looked to me that Trevor was forced to speed up his reads because he was constantly under pressure and take off running before he could even get to his progressions, before he could even get to it. He would take off what seemed to be a lot quicker this game than he has in the past. I'm thinking that, they got to get that where he can do some damage, because when he's running for 5 or 6 yards, he can do that. He's got some legs, but I mean, come on, we need to get through these progressions.
We don't want him to get hurt too, but I mean, the way he was throwing the ball, I mean, he was like, he knew where he was going with the ball. The Ridley
decisive.
play where he checked out of that, it was supposed to be a running play.
Which he looked over and he saw a safety on Ridley, and he goes, Ridley was like, I got you,
and that
dog.
pass,
I got you.
That pass, and didn't he get killed when he threw that? I mean, the pass
was that the one where AJ? By the way, they tried to make a star out of this Buffalo Bills. AJ Epinesa,
and that play to Ridley was, I think, a couple of plays before, Etienne's big 33-yard touchdown run, wasn't it?
I think it was third down. It was a third down. It was a huge play, and it was a critical moment of the game. And just the ball placement. That's what I'm talking about. The way he was placing that ball under duress, I was like, that's the Trevor
he managed that game.
Yeah.
Precisely.
He was awesome. And you know what? He had 3 fumbles. We recovered 1. 2 of them, I think one of them was on him. Him just trying to make a play, trying to extend the play a little bit. He does look. That's been a thing with him. He needs to protect that ball. That's gonna jump up and bite us at some point. But the offensive line, you got to give that man a chance. I mean, he was just 2 of those were their fault, but he overcame, and so like I'm not even dwelling on that, even though yes, it is something that needs to get cleaned up, but still, in year 3. But the way everything else, I'm not going to try to hear any Trevor slander.
And like you said, that Buffalo's defense was getting wore down. Mm-hmm. You're talking about time possession. 38 minutes for the Jags compared to what? 22?
22 for the Bills. Jags ran 82 plays to the Bills 54
Bro,
plays.
we dominated them. That's what I'm talking about with all the excuse making from the media about the Bills and their fans. Listen,
That's domination.
Bills Mafia, Bills fans, stop crying. You all have a really good team. It's a long season. You got the whole season in front of you, but the excuse making was.
Were you on social media last week?
A little bit. Oh, everything was an excuse.
29 first downs for the Jags, 18 for the Buffalo.
Okay, so let's talk about that because we've talked about how bad the offensive line was, but let's give them a little bit of credit. The running game, the Jags running game, ETN specifically, but 26 for 136. 5.2 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns, setting the tone, keeping, gashing them at certain points, the 33-yard touchdown, big plays from ETN, but, keeping that pace, keeping that rhythm, and keeping that time of possession. They can't score if they're sitting on the bench, the Buffalo Bills. They can't score if their offense is on the bench.
They couldn't score when they were on the field with that defense.
But keeping that ball, and that's critical. That's how you play football. That's smash mouth football.
Here's what I like about what I've seen so far from the Jaguars defense. They make you one-dimensional. They make you pass the ball.
Right.
Because you cannot run. Buffalo Bills had 29 rushing yards against our team.
Our run
We're ranked
is real
5th in rush defense.
Right.
We're ranked 26th in pass defense, but that is kind of because we make you pass.
Yep.
We make you pass. And
our secondary is good.
Very good. It's like, I dare you to.
Cisco is playing.
We're ranked in the top 10 in scoring defense for interceptions and everything.
Right, we're taking away the ball. We're shutting down one side with Campbell, but we had a couple big plays on defense. The interceptions, and Josh Allen starting to become an elite pass rusher.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is.
And we got screwed on that call. That's one of my bones.
The helmet.
Yeah,
well, the refs didn't have their best game. I'm going to say.
I mean, when you're dropping back to pass and you see big number 41 coming at you, you duck down to take the sack, and that's exactly what it did. After Josh is already doing this, what am I supposed to do? Make a millisecond adjustment?
There was a couple things in this game, and we've talked about them already. A couple bones, a couple things I got to get off my massive chest. Massive.
Okay.
He said belly wrong.
Yeah, he said belly wrong.
Know what he's talking about.
So, but no, I got to get this. So we talked about the narrative of making excuses, whether it be the Bills fans or the media. I thought the referees were terrible. Another thing that the Bills fans were saying that the refs were terrible in favor of us, but there were that was a terrible call. Josh Allen made a tackle.
Right.
He made a tackle with a guy, and we know we kind of just got to get used to it because that's what they call nowadays. Unless you're a Kansas City Chiefs, defender tackling somebody.
The stat line is not
2 weeks in a row.
The stat line is not going to show how Josh Allen affected the game. Their quarterback is mobile. He doesn't take sacks, but he was pressured. He was under fire.
Well, he got sacked on Sunday.
He did get sacked, but not from Josh Allen specifically because of the. The
not
flag on the helmet.
But he did rush him against. He was all over.
Right. So what I'm saying is,
butt for that interception.
To his credit, he was in the backfield real soon, real quick, and all over the field. So yeah, I like seeing Josh Allen become one of the dominant pass rushers in the NFL. He's
just becoming so good.
He's a great player, man.
I mean,
it's fun watching that guy.
It's just so intimidating. I like the black visor on him, and he's so fast coming around that corner, and he's there.
Yeah,
and quarterbacks know he's there.
I love Josh Allen. He's a great leader on the team. He's a pro. God. I mean, just the way that that he goes about things. He's a class act, and I love.
Just imagine if Ventrell Miller was on the field with him.
Here we go.
I had to throw that in
there. Here we go.
Because he was a Florida Gator.
Here we
you
go.
don't know about Gator linebacker.
We got to get the Gator. Wow, we got to get there. No, imagine if Danielle Hunter is on the field with him, or imagine if any other number of guys that were available if we would have picked them.
Are you guys
up.
making trades over here? Y'all playing GM? What's happening? What's just happened? I don't know how we got there. Okay,
the Vikings to lose out, and then they trade us Danielle Hunter.
That's tampering, I think. I don't know what happened. All right, so are we on defense now? But the defense.
Yeah, we are. But hold on, another thing that pissed me off about the game with the refs. Was it 3 terrible spots?
Terrible.
I think there was like 3 spots where it was like, oh yes, first down, we're high fiving. They're
Terrible.
like, oh no, we're a foot behind. They're like, what are you even looking at?
It was 2. No, it might have been 3.
It was 3, bro.
It might have been 3.
There was 3 really bad spots.
Anyway,
Eric, continue.
I've already said the refs didn't have their best day. The refs didn't have their best day.
They're awful.
I want to give some flowers to the Jaguars defense holding an elite offensive unit like the Buffalo Bills who were. I mean, look what they did to Miami prior with where they put 48 points on Miami. Shut down, held to 20 points, and it wasn't. And by the way, it wasn't even that close to the final score suggests. I mean,
it was
looking
shellac.
good.
I mean the score does not tell you
reflect.
how great our defense played and how great our team played.
Yeah,
Really
they went to that prevent at the end, which kind of pissed me off, because it was like we were. I hate prevent, and I think everybody does. But they got that last touchdown. Campbell, who's a stud, he gave up the one touchdown in the red zone. But let's talk about that Darius Williams interception. So 2 interceptions, by the way, in London for Duval Darius, and when that pass went up, it was up in the air for 15 minutes, and I was like, I'm like, first of all, it's like, where's?
I went to the bathroom, came back, it was still in the air.
Right,
it was crazy.
And his little legs, they take a while to get back and forth, so it took a minute.
And you take it away from Diggs?
Yeah, but it's up in the air because at first it's like, where is it going to? And then you see, and he's kind of open, and then when they go up, then you're like, I'm just thinking all this is happening, and I'm like, bro, he's got to come down with that because obviously the tie goes to the receiver, and he got it and ripped away. It was a 50-50 ball, and our guy wanted it more.
Do you remember the old game we used to play called 500 in the neighborhood where someone would launch a ball up in the air, call out a number, and you would have to fight for it, essentially get a rebound?
I don't remember that game.
I don't remember that game.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
That must have been like one of Jimmy's and Joe's kind of bullcrap.
All right, maybe not.
Jimmy's.
But
do you know
there
that?
We go. I don't want to talk about it.
Do you know that at least twice a week somebody comes up to me and says, "I can't believe those guys never heard about Jimmy's and Joe's." Yeah, I can't either.
I watch y'all show on my tube TV.
I don't know. But yeah, that came down with the 50-50 ball. Really like getting in there.
That was a big moment too.
That was huge.
It was huge.
There was another one that no one really talks about. It was on the right side of the field, where Josh Allen did a 3-step drop and threw a laser, and it was really perfect to Diggs on the right side. Mm-hmm. But my boy defended it and got in Diggs' face, and Diggs couldn't hold on to the ball. It was a big play. It was on a second down.
And our tackling was really good. Like, you didn't see anybody, get a run or a catch and then be able to make a move. I mean, they might have gotten a catch, but then they were getting tackled, right there, and that was huge.
Well, that's why you stopped. That's why the running game was so obsolete. They had averaged 2.1 yards a carry because our tackling was there.
The run defense has been good all year. And the thing is like we know they have good play. Josh Allen has really been, kind of standing out. Cisco, I think everybody that follows the team closely, Cisco's playing really well. But there's no guy that the national media is going to say, oh yeah, that guy, we got to look at. But I think that's a testament to the defense as a unit and Mike Caldwell. I think Caldwell, without having a great pass rusher, they're playing so well together. And some of the timing on the blitzes and just the way they're playing, and they're playing together as a unit, it's impressive. I love it.
And it's only going to get better throughout the season.
After we trade for Danielle Hunter, it's going to be awesome.
I believe this defense is really gonna be the staple of this entire team. It was all about the offense in the preseason. Right. It was all about offense, but this defense.
Right, well, and that's what you're hoping for. Obviously, at any team, you're wanting to be playing your best late in the season, and so the offense is starting to click. Okay, the offense played well.
We're not now. This isn't early anymore. We're a third of the way through the season.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're progressing. So you got the defense that's holding it down. The offense is starting to get it together. Would
you consider this a statement win? Now, this is going to go in the books as a road victory, this is one of the elite teams.
And it was a road game, too, because Bills Mafia...
Bills did show up.
To their credit,
did show up to that game.
This was a major statement win, especially the fact that the Bills dismantled Miami.
Right.
And media was all over the Bills, and then they play us, and we just dismantled them.
Let me ask you. So
they were tired, Jeff.
So I'm going to...
It's a travel.
They had jet lag.
Yeah, they had a jet, yeah.
And they had injuries in turf.
So put a grade on the offense and the defense. I'll go first. I'm gonna give the offense a B, but that's credit to the offense because the Bills are a great defensive team. Mm-hmm. So getting a B versus a defense like that, I'll give it to.
I think that's fair, and I think that we left some points out there. I mean, I think that we had the 2 fumbles. I think there was a few times where we could have scored more, but even with that said, I like B.
Honestly, 35-20.
Right, and then I would have given an A. And then on defense, I'm going to say an A. I mean, that's a great unit that the Bills have Super Bowl aspirations.
There was no sacks besides the one that got called back, but I would say A- because there was no sacks.
But yeah, they have Super Bowl aspirations in Buffalo, and they came to London and it didn't go well for them. So that's a statement victory. I like it.
Yep.
I like it. All right, and moving along, before we get into next week's action, let's shout out our sponsor, King's Barbecue, award-winning competition barbecue. They also do catering and have a food truck. I'm going to put the links in the description to check them out. You can also check out their food truck schedule coming up. Real good. Highly recommend their barbecue. They're actually going to come out and do a tailgate with us. Yep. And so you're going to actually get a chance to see them. But definitely check them out. They also sent us some samples.
They sent us a bunch of that. They do spices and rubs. It's available on their website and on Amazon. You can get them. And yeah, we're kind of working out the logistics. We're trying to figure out which game we're going to go to and make sure that we can get access, because he's going to cook the barbecue up that morning. And it's all going to be fresh. And so the kind of tentative plan is we're gonna do kind of our normal tailgate, but we'll kind of put the word out. You can stop by. We're gonna have some T-shirt giveaways, things of that nature, while the meat's cooking, and then maybe have a chance to sample some.
Seriously, check this out. If you like barbecue, and we are in the South,
it's good.
This is legit.
Yep.
This is the truth. Go find this schedule. We're gonna have it up in the description for you. Check out King's Barbecue.
We've had some sponsorship where there's some monetary compensation, and that's great and all. But then when you start bringing food, it's like I'm like, oh yeah, sold.
We sell out. We sell out for the food around these parts. But yeah, no, seriously though, check out King's Barbecue. You will not be disappointed. That's
sure.
the truth.
And these two guys love food.
It's facts. All right, so let's move along to next week's game versus the Indianapolis Colts. And before we do that, Ben.
Yeah,
we have some business to handle
before we
here.
talk about this, Jeff, this is not going to be easy for you.
This is not easy.
But we got to have the ceremony.
We have to have the ceremony. We have to cover the covering of the Minshew. So behind us, we have the Minshew.
We Minshew a Merry Christmas candle, and for those a little inside the business, Jeff has an unhealthy love for Minshew.
Minshew mania was not lost on Jeff.
It wasn't, and so I love Minshew. What he did for the team, he was, bro. I loved him, everything about him. I wish him, the best and all that. He was great for us. With that said, I want him to fail miserably. I want him in this next game. I want him to go 0 for 10, not get hurt or anything, but 0 for 10, 3 interceptions.
So I was kind of upset Anthony wasn't starting. I was like, when they put Minshew, I was like,
no, and we talked about that, I think, in one of the first episodes. It was like, I think that I was happy when AR got the start. And I think AR is going to be a good football player. Yeah. But it was like, huh?
I don't think he's.
We know.
Gives them the
you
best
also
chance
picked the Bills. Beat us.
So. Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
He goes, facts.
So before we do this, Ben, cover Minshew for this week. We're going to cover the Minshew candle up.
Yes. So
with the teal towel.
The teal towel.
So let's get this going. And then next week, we might unveil it back out if he...
No, it'll come back out. He's allowed to... We embrace...
This week, we're not pulling for Minshew. Right.
Correct.
Okay, deal. I'll take it. Let's
not
cover
just
him up.
Not pulling. We want him to fail miserably.
Fail miserably.
Okay.
Fall flat on his face.
Okay.
Let's cover him up. So the ceremonial covering of the Minshew. And we're going to leave that like that until after the game.
After we get the win.
All right, so we got Minshew covered up until next week. And spoiler alert, Anthony Richardson will not be playing, and it will be Gardner Minshew taking the helmet quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. So let's talk about Indy real quick. They're coming off a victory against the Tennessee Titans last week. They're now 3-2 on the year, which is actually above their projections. They were not projected to be very good, but they do have a pretty good team. They're also, they already got back all-world running back Jonathan Taylor came back last week, but their running game has been tremendous without him, so in addition to him, that's going to be something because they already had Zach Moss running wild. However, the Jaguars' strength is their run defense. We just talked about that when we're talking about the Bills. 5th overall in rush defense, and that's Indy's power. So it's a power versus power matchup. That's what we have. That's what they have, and we're going to see who wins out. This is actually going to be, I project it to be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be just like week 1. It was a good game then.
Just different. It'll be different. You know what I mean? It's going to be a good game, but the defense, they're going to have to. Offense and defense are both going to have to come up with a different plan. Their offense and our defense. Because Minshew's a different player. Right. He's not going to. He's not going to have that.
He's a pure passer instead of like a run passer.
Yeah, I mean he can move if he needs to, but he is. He's more.
Now, what I'm saying, what I've been saying, Anthony Richardson is their future. They're going to get him in the game. They're going to try to get him catch up to speed, to NFL speed. However, at this particular moment in time, Gardner Minshew most likely gives them the best chance to win because he's had that NFL experience, because he has that ability and that know-how, whereas AR's learning that right now, and he's not where they expect him to be yet. So actually, this might not even be great for us that their starters out. This might be the time when it's the backup might be better.
I'm more scared of this game than I was first game because I think Minshew is going to be. He's just a better quarterback. He's a better quarterback than Anthony, and I get why they start Anthony. Anthony's dynamic, but Minshew, like you said, can run the ball kind of like Trevor Lawrence. If he has to run, he can run.
I mean, that's what Minshew magic was. It was him pulling stuff out of his rear end to make something happen.
And he's got a point. You can say what you want. The dude's got a point to prove in Jacksonville. We let him go. And he thought this was probably going to be his home. And he's going to come back, and he's going to want to play. I mean, dude's going to want to play. He might be out
for blood, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very scary game.
He's a super competitor, and he's always looking for that edge, and he walks around with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's just who he is, and that's what made us like him. And, there's a lot about this game that makes me nervous. The fact that we're coming back from London.
2 wins.
This would have been a time when you think that maybe we would have taken the bye. Indy is.
And let's talk about that. Let me stop you right there. What's going out now? I don't know if you've seen this. Indianapolis, the Jaguars picked Indy, meaning the NFL gives you an opportunity to have a bye week if you play overseas, or you can forego that bye week. The Jaguars said, no, we don't want our bye week directly after that. We'll take Indianapolis. Now, the Colts are fully aware of this, so they have that bulletin board material.
Well, and they're also fully aware of that we've been killing them every time they come to Jags. Even when, we haven't been a good team, we've beaten Indy here. Right. We knocked them out of the playoffs a couple years ago.
Yes, absolutely.
So I mean, that's just it's a dangerous game. That's one of the things kind of on my list of things that make me worried. It's the travel. It's the them coming in. Which, granted, they knew that they've had a poor record against us at our house every year that they've come in and we've beaten them. So I don't know that it's going to make much difference, but they're playing really well together. And I think that sometimes you get those teams that are playing like together and they have a good vibe about them, like us last year. And I'm not saying that they're like what we were last year, but it's just that same type of thing. You can make things happen.
And the fact that our last 2 home games, we didn't show up.
We didn't show up. And not only that, but well, thankfully, Walker Little's probably. They said Walker Little and Zay Jones both got hurt in the Bills game.
Both questionable.
And they say questionable day to day, which was a relief because we thought it could have been worse, especially with Walker Little.
We'll take that. We'll take that.
Yeah, but conventional wisdom says they're probably not going to play this week, so we're going to be down our best offensive lineman. We're going to be down versus a team who, they can get after us, and that's something that obviously it's plagued us all year long. But so you got an injured Walker Little and then Zay Jones, who, listen, everybody talks about Ridley. Ridley was amazing, came up with those clutch catches and everything like that in the last game. Kirk is just kind of flying under the radar, but pops in and makes these great plays, Mr. Consistency. But the offense looks different with Zay Jones in there. And Zay Jones just really,
It's an extra guy you got to cover.
Yeah, and he's a leader. And so it's which he can still lead, on the side. It's just a little bit different. But it's not just – but, I mean, he's more than just an extra guy you got. I mean, he's a playmaker. I mean, he's made a lot of really big plays for us. So again, jet lag that,
You expect to see Jamal Agnew on the field a little bit more when Zay's out?
Well, they've had Tim Jones in, and I love Agnew, but he's had some.
Here's what scares me. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is what scares me most about this game. Okay, obviously we know we have 2 back-to-back wins in London. Okay, we have not played good at home whatsoever, and the Colts have beat the Texans, they beat the Ravens, they beat the Titans.
Yeah,
and are we going to overlook the Colts? Because we have a big game on a Thursday night, primetime game at the Saints.
Right.
This is what scares me about this game. Is because of that.
But I don't.
All those together, that scares me.
All those, like I said, it's a dangerous game. I don't take this team as a looking ahead type of team because of who the coach is and just the type of guys that we have. I get it. Yeah, I mean and sometimes it's subconscious. Like sometimes you really are fired up, but there's something in your brain that you just can't get that next level because deep down in there you're looking at that.
Lulls during a season. It's a long season, but you can't be up red alert for every single game. There's natural lulls.
But in fact, Minshew's coming out for blood because they're back. Their starter.
And see that to me,
their starter's out. I'm going. Look, the backup's better.
No. And they know Minshew. Trevor knows. They all know Minshew. And so I think them knowing what his mindset's going to be, them knowing the fact that they're a good team, and it's a divisional game. It's hard for me to believe that this team that it'd be a letdown for this team.
Well, it's hard for me to believe that they would let the Texans come in and dominate again.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'm so mixed emotions on this one.
But hold on, but I agree with that, and that was and not only that, and this was a shocker too. It kind of goes against my thinking about this team. Was Peterson saying that they didn't practice well before the Chiefs game? I'm like, literally, this team that you've had circled, this game you've had circled on your calendar since they put you out last year, and you don't have a great practice leading up to that. So, but with that said, it feels like, and you hear people talking, from inside the building, and on the radio, people that have, inside knowledge, that London trip was a getaway. It kind of brought them together. It was kind of cleansing and say, look, and they got things together. The offense, and more than just a feel good type of thing, it was on the field, they were producing, and the offense started to click and get that chemistry that we talked about,
Let me give you a final thought about this real quick, and then we'll get to the score predictions for the game. Indianapolis has a poor pass defense. I'm looking for Trevor Lawrence to exploit that. I'm looking for the coaching staff to draw up some plays to take advantage of that. I'm looking for a big day from Trevor Lawrence. Now, saying that, I'm not looking for a big score. I think this will be a tighter game than expected. I think it goes 24-16 Jaguars. I think the Colts have a chance at the end, and our defense steps up to either take the ball away or turn them over on downs, and I think the Jaguars walk away with a 24-16 as my prediction. Ben, I'll write that one down. You give me something.
I'll go 28-17.
28-17.
That's a good score.
All right, and Jeff, give me something.
I'm gonna go 31-27.
Whoa, you got a shootout.
Well, here's the thing. You mentioned about the Colts having a bad pass defense. I think what I saw, they're ranked 28th. We're ranked 27th.
Ours isn't much better. Yeah, ours isn't much better.
Well,
but they're ranked like 19th in rush defense, and we're 5th.
But they have,
I tell you what they do have. Excuse me for interrupting you again. No. They have a great third down conversion defense, and they have a top 15 red zone defense. And where have we lacked this year?
Right. So,
well, I know that Julian Blackmon, I think he got a pick 6 last game. And I believe last year and this year in the first game, he almost got a pick on Trevor. So I don't know if there's something there with that. But their secondary in general, I think they're young and they lack some experience, but they have some talent there. They have some ability.
So we all agree that the Jags will take care of business this week coming out.
We do. But I think it's going to be a tough game.
But it's going to be a very tough game. But, and I know Buffalo was a statement game. This, in my eyes, being that we have New Orleans, who's been playing great, on prime time, which we do not play that much.
What did I say the score was going to be?
You got 28-17.
I want 28-20.
20. Ooh, all right. You're going to give them extra?
Because I think
you guys have a shootout.
I think Minshew.
I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because both of them have a really good rush defense, but a piss poor pass defense because you can't really rush.
I think they're good for a couple touchdowns. Minshew making something happen, and I feel like he'll get them in field goal range a couple times.
Yeah, I got him for a touchdown, 3 field goals, 16 points. Okay, let's move along to the season-long Pick'em challenge, and then we'll get to the giveaway. So last week, Jeff won 4 games, to Ben 2 games, and I won one lonely game. So the season-long rankings, you guys are tied with
that cigar away.
You guys,
give it to me. Let me hold it.
You guys are tied for 13 apiece. I got 10 wins this week. I got to do some catching. I got some catching up to do. We disagree on the Seattle-Cincinnati game, where Ben and I picked Seattle coming into Cincinnati and taking a victory. Jeff has the
Joe
Bengals
Burrow's hitting on cylinder. I think his calf's gotten better.
Sports Illustrated, and can I just ask that everyone out there,
Sports Illustrated still
Sports Illustrated, they have their power rankings. And I was going to mention this. I was going to mention this earlier with some of my
2 and 3
bones to pick.
Cincinnati is.
They had 2 and 3 Cincinnati as I think top 5 in their power rankings. But this is what I'm saying. Like when I see that,
it's stupid.
You bypass because they're literally doing that to get clicks and to get interaction and everything like that. Just don't give in to it.
Falling for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right,
People just scroll.
Let's get back to this. Ben and I took Seattle. Jeff, you got Cincy at home. All right, the New Orleans-Houston game. Jeff, you got New Orleans.
Yep.
Ben and I both got Houston.
New Orleans playing good.
New Orleans, they are playing good, but
playing good.
Houston's going to pull that one off.
well.
And then Dallas at the Chargers on Monday night. Ben took Dallas, where Jeff and I got the Chargers, so we differ on 3 games
Ben
this week.
did not learn his lesson from picking Dallas
didn't.
last week.
Did not learn yet.
Thanks are going to come
Hard-headed, very stubborn
at
individual.
The Chargers.
So, all right, I got some catching up to do. Let's start it this week. So let's get to the shirt giveaway. We got a couple shirts to give away today, but before we do that, Ben, tell me about this shirt. I've been looking at it all program.
This all right, so I mean probably a lot of y'all have seen it out there. It's been a real popular shirt. So I was out at training camp and I see a guy walk in and he has a little boy with him. I
Did you ask him for an autograph?
They didn't have a lanyard. They had no JIA CO lanyards out there. So no actually I did get a picture. And he was wearing this shirt and I was like, "Oh, I like that. Where'd you get it? Did you make that?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we got to talking and we've kind of connected on social media, just kind of, stayed in touch and, sharing everything on social media. He invited me out, for his birthday party, and he's doing his thing out there, and it's real popular. Yeah, like I said, it's been making the rounds. Everybody's been wearing it. A lot of the kind of local celebrities and people with a Jaguars / social media presence.
Wait, are you just like putting in there? You're a local celebrity. You just snuck that in there.
I think he
Local
did.
celebrities are wearing this.
Oh my
No.
God.
You're a pop culture icon in the city.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
you said it, not me, but
I
that's
didn't
not
say
what.
it.
That's
I
not.
didn't-
Wow.
I've been quiet.
The ego is just through the roof. Okay,
No,
that-
I said that a lot of people were wearing it, and also local celebrities and Jaguar
okay,
people
hard
with.
stop. A
think
lot
he
of
said-
people
I think he
hard
said-
stop and locals.
I think he said local celebrities.
It was kind of a medium stop, so that people can interpret it as they want.
I don't want to be that big.
So
It's like an album cover, though, right? It's like
Yeah, it's
the
what is it?
graduation album
Was it?
cover.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed was the Duval County
The
vibe.
explicit, yeah,
I
that's
like
actually
that.
it. Actually is pretty cool.
and actually, I think his wife is actually the one that designed it, or he. It was kind of
Well, who's
his
Who
brainchild.
is he? Wait, who is it? Who made the shirt?
Who made the shirt?
Oh, it's JIA CO.
Okay,
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
I thought I said that already.
No,
Yeah,
maybe
so
you
it's
did. I was-
it's
okay.
JIA CO. It's spelled JIA, and I think it means family in Chinese.
okay.
Is what
I like
that
that.
is. So
Well, that is a pretty cool shirt.
And he's a good dude, family guy, and I'm huge on supporting local, but
You're huge.
like creators. We talked about my massive chest earlier, and I think it displays the large image of
All right,
the
get
shirt.
off your massive ego.
So anyway, anytime people, any creators out there, any people that make shirts or make art, I love sharing it.
I do like
And,
that shirt a lot.
Yeah, I know. So, did he give you one?
They don't
I
do child
wasn't
sizes,
there.
do they? Do they have it in child sizes?
Did he give you one?
No, I don't know who he is.
I think he was giving them out to the celebrities. I don't know. I just figured that maybe as part of Spot on Jaguars podcast, maybe you could.
All right. Okay.
But anyway,
don't we have
hey,
shirts to give away or something? Can
But
we just do
moving
our
right
giveaway?
along, shout out to JIA CO and keep up the good work. And yes,
He
we
probably
do
thought
have.
he looked homeless, needed a shirt.
Help him out.
Like,
Whatever.
this
I'm
dude
doing a
needs some
favor.
covering.
That's charity.
I
Charity
always
work
look-
for JIA CO.
I always look.
We like it.
clean.
Thank you, JIA CO, for the shirt. No, that is a
Appreciate
sweet
it. It
shirt.
looks
I like
sweet,
it.
man.
All right, no. So let's get to our shirt giveaway, Ben. What do we got going on here?
Well, yeah. Again, this is just a continuation of we had the little Instagram contest going, and we gave away 2 last week, and giving away 2 more. We got a couple more after this week too that we'll be giving away. But
Is this the Wu-Tang?
yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
Wu-Tang
This is
Jaguars. So we got Rags Official, so it's at Rags_official, and at Ronnie V9683. So those are the 2 winners for this week. So it was Rags Official and Ronnie V9683.
You
So
know the deal. Hit us up, DM.
Yep.
Hit-
Send me a message on Instagram.
Let us know how to find you.
Send it to Spot on Jaguars. Send it to Teal Reign. And either one of those will work, and we'll get your sizes and where to send them to. But congrats on the this week's winners.
All right, and that'll
It's extra shiny today. Did you polish that bad boy?
It's shiny.
It is shiny today.
congrats to the winners of the t-shirts, and also
Sweet T-shirt.
sweet t-shirt. But also, let's get to some congratulations on the fantasy.
Let's not talk about it.
Oh yeah, no. Let's talk.
No,
about it.
something happened.
no.
Somebody
I gotta
took their
go.
first loss.
I gotta go.
Somebody took their first L. Jeff lost this week. Finally, got him off the
At least it
winner
wasn't to
board.
Ben. I mean,
No, but it was to Khalid Jaguars,
It was.
and we talked about him before. But Khalid's our boy. Check him out on Khalid Jaguars on YouTube. Does a lot of Jaguar vlogs and everything, and he is the Jeff Killer.
Yeah, the Jeff Killer. He took Jeff down. Ben, I think you beat me in fantasy, and that was
naturally just like basketball.
I still logged on, so congratulations on your big victory.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that'll do it for this week's show. Spot on Jaguars, brought to you by Teal Reign. Check out King's Barbecue, award-winning competition barbecue. Yep. Until next time, we're out of here.
Yep.
Thank you very much. All right.
Well, I beat him already once.
Oh, let's talk about barbecue. I'm hungry.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to tell you. All right, Ben. Let's
I don't think Eric's beat anybody.
Yeah, he hasn't.